so they're downward firing just like they were in previous iMacs, and they're really much louder than you'd expect from this small of a frame. It can crank loud enough to fill a room, it's got Dolby Atmos support, and this nice pretty wide stereo image when you're sitting right in front of it. But there's a distinct lack of deep bass, which makes perfect sense. It's just built-in speakers in an all-in-one. But it's so thin, I bet if it was thicker, you would have had some more space for maybe some more bassy speakers. They also probably could have fit the power adapter inside the computer, like with all the rest of their desktops, but they really leaned into the external power brick situation with the iMac here. There's an external power brick here that's pretty beefy, but they've made the most of it. They've got color matching cables, and there's magnetic pins into the back. Then they've also built in an Ethernet port into the brick in the higher end models, which is super convenient since it saves you yet another cable sticking out of the computer itself. All that being said, the way I feel is they should have made it a little thicker and nixed the chin, but that's just me. Maybe let me know what you think in the comments below, but they went with the chin, so it's here. Keep using it for your post-it notes. Keep using it as a little handle for your not height adjustable stand, just for pivoting, but it is what it is. It's here. Now, as an all-in-one, the iMac is pretty much the gold standard for built-in accessories and components, so I was looking forward to the webcam and mic for this one, and they're pretty good, actually better than I was expecting. It is 1080p finally, which is awesome, but more than that, the colors and the contrast are way better, actually better than I feel like they were in the M1 laptops. And the studio quality microphones, as you can hear, best mics ever in a Mac, are pretty good. They're pretty useful. They focus on your voice, so if you're further away from the Mac, it can still hear you like this. All right, but let's talk about the port situation real quick. So this is probably the only little red flag or downside of this new generation. So the baseline iMac starts at $1299, and that's the baseline, so it's the cheapest one, but that particular one has almost no ports. That desktop has a headphone jack and 2 Thunderbolt USB-C ports. No Ethernet on the power brick, no SD card slot, like that is it. That's a wired mouse and a keyboard, and you're already out of ports. But if you upgrade to the higher spec models that start at $1499, then you have 2 more USB-C ports for a total of 4. But yeah, no HDMI, no USB-A, just USB-C here, no matter which model you get. It's worth noting. So if you know you're gonna be plugging in external storage or 1 or 2 things right off the bat, a card reader, you're gonna be running out of ports pretty quick. But then again, let's be real, most of the people getting these machines are gonna use Apple's nice, beautiful, colorful new accessories that are all Bluetooth. And it was funny, during the unboxing, seeing matching piece after matching piece, it just kind of struck me how well thought out all this stuff is. So with the blue iMac, the power cable is blue, the lightning cable for charging anything lightning is blue, there's a new trackpad and Magic Mouse, neither of which are redesigned at all, just blue now instead of silver. And there's also even dual tone blue stickers in here to match that computer. And then there's a new Magic Keyboard with Touch ID, which is super dope, very useful, especially if you're used to other laptops they've made. I'm pretty sure it's literally just an old iPhone's Touch ID button, like cut out into the center of a keyboard key, because that's exactly what it looks and feels like. But hey, it works, as advertised, for logging in, switching between users, authorizing payments, all that. One thing I've noticed is it is a little bit slow, and I figure maybe that's because it's sending information encrypted over Bluetooth to the iMac and back, but that's a fine sacrifice for me. But also, this new keyboard with the base model doesn't have Touch ID. So that's another cut for the base model iMac, along with 1 GPU core, an Ethernet port, and 2 USB-C ports. But overall, even though I am someone who's obviously not in the target demographic of this baseline iMac, I actually think it's a great computer. It is a really good computer. I just think you should be wary of the baseline situation because that's almost guaranteed less ports than the computer you're currently using. So check that out. Just make sure you have the right port situation. If you upgrade, you get Ethernet.